Hi. Good morning. It's great to be speaking on Transform to Perform on a Monday morning. So, uh, so, in the next couple of minutes, I'll be talking about my life, my journey on how I established the Wishing Factory, and all the steps I took gradually to start something which is now based in about 11 cities, and it's touching almost 10,000 lives on a daily basis. But so throughout the talk, just on some occasions, try to visualize yourself in my shoes. So maybe you will relate more to what I'm saying. And so, yeah, I was born on 8th June 1995, 10:30 in the morning, and I was a very fair-looking child. Everything seemed normal, and my parents took me home. I was happy playing, but in the second month of my journey, after being born, I started growing pale, and I had trouble breathing. There's a wheezing sound when you breathe, and that happens because your body is not functionally able to cater to the blood requirement. So my parents took me to Breach Candy in Bombay, where doctors suggested that this might be a case of thalassemia. And much later, that also wasn't a fixed diagnosis. I was then later taken to CMC Vellore, which was a brilliant hospital at that time. And then the doctors finally confirmed that I have something called as thalassemia, which is which is that I need blood every 15 days. And this happens because both my parents had thalassemia minor. So when two minors come together, the child has thalassemia major. Like, unlike you guys, when you eat, your body functionally breaks that food and makes energy so that you can sustain yourself. That machinery to make blood in me is absent. So, no matter what I eat, I can't make my own blood. I depend on blood from donors like you. So, every 15 days, I take 3 units of blood. That's literally three individuals. And so, just as I said, how it really happens is it's a genetic condition. It's not something that spreads through touch or, it's not something that you acquire over the years. It happens to you by birth, and that's how I got it. So, it's the half and the half that I inherited from my parents, and that's me. So, it's there since when I was 3 months old, and now also I'm 24. And as I'm aging, as I'm growing, I need more blood because your body requirements increase. Just to tell you a little bit about how thalassemia happened, if you break the word thalassemia, it means originated near the Greek Sea. So, since most of you would like to know how this really happened, back in Greece in about 18th century, the Greeks developed a evolutionary tactic to evade from malaria. So your body started, the Greeks, they started making a very constricted red blood cell. And that was a wrong evolution, which later on Alexander himself carried it wherever he went. So basically, I am a descendant of Alexander, maybe. But that's how we got it. And sadly, India is now the thalassemia capital of the world. That's because a lot of post-partition, a lot of Sindhis also migrated on this side. So it's very dominant in Sindhis, Marwadis, Gujaratis, Bengalis. It's slightly inclined to specific castes also, Lohanas per se. So now approximately 30 million carriers are there in the world, in India itself. And Amitabh Bachchan is a thalassemia minor. Leonardo DiCaprio, the Titanic hero, he's a thalassemia minor. So you can imagine minors, 1 in 9 people can be a minor. So it's not it's not something that is very odd. But it's when two minors come together, the child has thalassemia major. Every year, India continue, like we have 12,000 children born every year. And these children do not survive beyond 30 years. That is because it is a progressive disorder. As I said, when you're aging, your blood, you keep needing more blood. And ultimately, you come to a point wherein you need blood every 4 days or every 5 days. And your heart and your liver succumb to it. So now I'll tell someone who's slightly better looking than me to repeat.
Hi, this is Sonakshi Sinha.
I think we'll do it again.
Hi, this is Sonakshi Sinha, and I just met some amazing people from the Wishing Factory who have thalassemia, and it's something that they did not plan for or ask for. So all I want to tell everyone is that when you get married, please have a thalassemia test done before you conceive a child, so that you do not transfer this disease to your future generations. It's something that needs to be controlled, and I was really happy to see how positive they are, but this is something that they did not ask for, and please make sure that you get your test done before you conceive a child. Thank you.
So it's not a child's fault, basically. If we are all aware about the fact that, how it happens, we can avoid this. So coming back to growing up, I was a very enthusiastic kid. And I always tried to find those hooks that would help me look forward to the next day. So I used to get involved in a lot of adventure activities. My parents sent me to a trek when I was 14. Maybe they just wanted me to get away, but uh, they sent me on a trek to Manali, and then later Dalhousie, Shimla. A lot of treks I did between 14 to 16. And by the time I was 16, the company that I used to do treks with, it's an Ahmedabad-based company called as Anala. And then finally, they offered me a job with them, and I was 16. So I said yes, obviously. And I started taking children from primary and secondary schools to different trips, Shillong, and this is Shillong actually. And then I started learning adventure activities to then teach the children. They used to pay me 500 rupees a day. And it was a fun job because I used to get everything. I used to travel, I used to learn, and every summer vacations I used to spend on camps with them. And my school was really happy about the fact that, I'm 16 and I'm already working. So they were really supportive. This was a group of South Americans who had come to learn river rafting. So again, I taught them. So I was skilled in mountain climbing, river rafting, and much later, scuba diving. So I did my first scuba dive when I was 18 in Indonesia, Bali. And then much later, I did another dive in Jakarta. Then this year, I did two more dives in Thailand. And I love scuba diving. It's something that really helps me think. And it's a great space which I've kind of created for myself. And but throughout all of this, I still need blood. Coming back to the main point, I still need blood. And every time I take blood, it's like a gamble. You know how you play a slot machine or a roulette, you place your bet on a particular number. That's exactly how it was for me. So, on all the good days, I would receive good blood, which is safe blood, which is free of hepatitis, HIV, AIDS, and any other STDs. But not all children do. So India has approximately 2,545 blood centers, of which only 3% have NAT testing facility. NAT stands for Nucleotide Amplification Test. This test screens out if the virus is there in its window period. Every body when you have, like, if you have a virus, it exists in two forms. One is a latent stage and one is its active stage. So this test actually can detect both stages. So until 2012, I did not have access to NAT-tested blood, which is why life changed overnight. In 2012, I was a victim of hepatitis C, and thalassemia major patients often acquire hepatitis C because of wrong blood that was given to me. And all of you would recognize this. It's a product by Zydus. And I was on it for 6 months, and it helped, and I was out of it. I was free from hepatitis C, and it was good to have access to this, because trust me, there are children in rural parts of the country or in different parts of India where they don't even know about this. So I'm actually one of those few who has everything and who has access to such things, which is why I always felt that part, what are you doing in life? You're getting everything on a platter, but you have parents who can make arrangements. This medicine, I think when it was come, it was about 28,000 rupees for a month's dosage. So I still can't pronounce it. But it was 28,000 rupees for a month's dosage. But somehow my parents arranged it. They asked one relative to also help in, and somehow we could arrange it. But again in 2015, I had a relapse of the same, and I was again on the same medicine, this time for 3 months. And this is my latest report in 2019. And now onwards, I get myself tested every 6 months, and I make sure that I take only NAT-tested blood, so that I can't afford to have a relapse for the third time. So earlier I was still avoiding NAT test because it's slightly costly, but now I can't. I'm 24. I can't risk my health anymore. So this is the second relapse. So this, plus the fact that I have thalassemia, made me realize that, I need to give back to the society, and I need to fight for what is right. I need to do something for everyone who is like me. Maybe that's my only way of giving back to the world. So I started something called as the Wishing Factory. It's a non-profit organization. It's registered under the Section 80G. It's an ISO certified organization. It was recently recognized as the 18th best non-profit by Book My Show and other agencies as well. We are based in 11 cities so far, approximately 8 states, and we help in different forms, which I'll now talk about. But before that, I think you heard my side of how I face thalassemia. I just want you to hear a generalized version of how patients feel about thalassemia and living with thalassemia. So this poem is something that I and Rakesh Tiwari, if you know Rakesh Tiwari, is a music writer. Both of us sat down and we wrote this poem. So please hear this.
आने वाले कल को संभालें तो बीते लम्हे छूट जाते हैं। कुछ पुराने यार कभी नहीं मिलते, ऐसे रूठ जाते हैं। एक फुर्सत का मंजर आज जमाने के बाद आया, यादों की एल्बम पलट कर देखी, एक पुराना यार याद आया। ये वो दिन थे जब कोई भी काम करना कुछ भी खेलने के बाद था। बुझा बुझा सा एक दोस्त मेरा, नाम मगर चिराग था।
हर 15 दिन चिराग फिर से जलता, मैदान में खेलने की जिद करता, मगर उसकी फरियाद घर की 4 दीवारों में रह जाती। उसे मना करने वाला कोई और नहीं होता, उसकी माँ ही होती, जो हर बार उसे मना करने के बाद अकेले में घंटों रोती।
बुजुर्गों सी बातें करता, तूफान था, तहलका था, हवा भी चलती तो हिल जाता, इतना वजन में हल्का था। हर तस्वीर में आता, हर बार, हर याद में जुड़ना चाहता वो। सुपरमैन वाला लिबास पहनकर न जाने कहां उड़ना चाहता वो। अपनी हर बात कहने के लिए वो सांस खींचते रह जाता, हर रेस में अपना नाम लिखवाता और सबसे पीछे रह जाता।
हर 15 दिन उनकी टीम पक्का हार जाती, क्योंकि शोएब के बिना उनकी टीम कमजोर पड़ जाती। लाख समझाने के बाद भी पता नहीं वो कहाँ गायब हो जाता। अगले दिन पूछने पर बड़े अजीबो गरीब बहाने बनाता।
रंग उसका पीला या सफेद, कभी हमसा ना दिखता वो। पर ये क्या है, वो क्यों है, पूछते पूछते कुछ नया रोज सीखता वो। कभी दिवाली के पटाखों से भागता और पिचकारी में लाल रंग ना भरता वो। हर 2 महीने में स्कूल से 2 दिन गायब। मुझे लगा शायद मैथ्स और हिस्ट्री से डरता वो।
हर 15 दिन रूबेन फैजा से एक कदम दूर होता, अपने दिल को किश्तों में दर्द देता। फैजा इस बिहेवियर से पशो पेश में पड़ जाती। रूबेन इजहार क्यों नहीं करता, ये सवाल खुद से बार बार दोहराती।
लेकिन अस्पताल के बिस्तर पर देर तक जागना, बेरंग सा लगना, ये सब था उसके लिए नया नहीं। बचपन भले ही बीत गया, पर चेहरे से बचपना गया नहीं। अच्छा, तुम्हारी उम्र कितनी है जैसे सवालों से हर रोज कतराने लगता। और हाथ में गिटार आते ही कल हो ना हो, हाँ, बस यही गीत गाने लगता। पूछने पर यही कहता, मेरे लिए की गई सभी मन्नतें दुआएं बेअसर हैं। सुर्ख लाल रंग है इलाज मेरा, और वही मेरा जहर भी है।
हर 15 दिन 20 साल का गुरमीत 5 years डाउन द लाइन सुनकर मुस्कुराता। जिंदगी का मैदान उसे फतेह करना है, उसके बाद इत्मीनान से रिटायरमेंट। यही सपना उसे हकीकत में नजर आता।
काश माँ पापा पहले जान लेते, इससे ज्यादा कभी कुछ कहा नहीं। उसे क्या हुआ था ये भी तब जाना, जब बताने के लिए खुद दुनिया में रहा नहीं। वो बिना किसी फिक्र के गुजारना हर दिन चाहता था। वो मोमबत्तियां बुझाकर केक काटने वाला एक और जन्मदिन चाहता था।
हर 15 दिन पार्थ किसी और को उसकी तरह 15 दिनों वाली जिंदगी ना मिले, बस यही दुआ करता
कि जो उसका कल था वो किसी का आज ना हो।
फिर किसी के घर, गली या आशियाने में
हर रोज बुझता चिराग ना हो।
So it's in general a tough life for these children, finding their bits of happiness. Parents are so, struggling to arrange for his medicines, to arrange for his blood. There are so many other issues which they are facing apart from blood transfusion. Some contract hepatitis C, some contract side effects of some medicine, some contract rashes, severe rashes upon blood transfusions. So I started off in 2015 when I was 19 years old, and back then I was 19. So my understanding was pretty simple, that I want to do something by which I can add to smiles. So we started by fulfilling experiences, and someone wanted to sit in a helicopter, someone wanted to travel in a flight. So we rode to Vistara, and they gave us a business class voucher for the child. And someone so even at 19 I was trying to influence corporates and CEOs to kind of help me. It was a hard time because it is obviously difficult for a CEO or a corporate or a MD to kind of trust me at that age. I was in first year of my college, so you can imagine I was just a child. And but somehow I was able to micro-influence those people, and we had a collaboration with Jet Airways also, and someone wanted to go to Manali, we later on collaborated with Pawan Hans, which is a helicopter-based company in Bombay. So whenever a child wanted to sit in a helicopter, Pawan Hans used to help us, and by the time I was 20, we got people to recognize us, the kind of work that we were doing. A lot of people came in, Katrina, Akshay, Sonakshi, they started helping us in Wishes. I met Sonakshi on a flight in Delhi. So that's how I told her about thalassemia, and she has been really supportive since then. Uh, Now, coming back to, so this is why we are constantly fulfilling wishes. We still do, and our current count stands at about 475 wishes, which is experience-based wishes, so that these children have something to look forward to. And moving on to the healthcare front, correct management of your thalassemia is the only way to prolong life. So I'm 24, and last month I was invited to London for a British National Thalassemia Day, and I met patients who were 57, 59 years old. In India, the highest age is 39, but I met someone who was 57, 59. That is because the British system, which is NHS, is one of the best in the world. Everything is accessible to them, everything is free for them. So the situation is pretty different. Plus, climate is to their advantage. But in all, if you're taking your medicines in time, if you're taking safe blood, if you're not contracting other comorbidities, you can live longer. So these are the costs. So you roughly spend around 2,45,000 on an annual basis just on your medicines and your blood filters, excluding if you have any other comorbidities. So back in 2010, this is how a typical transfusion center would look like. This is in West Bengal. And I used to feel very sad when I used to see such spaces. Imagine sitting on a chair for 4 hours taking blood, then again you get a 10-minute break, and then you take spend 4 hours more to take a blood. It was very saddening. So one of the first things that I wanted to change when I started the Wishing Factory, apart from experiences, I wanted to provide better transfusion care. So it was tough, but as they say, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती है. So I kept trying. It was very difficult to convince companies. It's a project which has a high capital expense, or how you call it, capex. So which was about 17 to 18 lakhs to set up one transfusion center, and an operational expense of about 14 lakhs to run a 4-bed or a 6-bed transfusion center. But I wrote to many companies, but the first one and the only one that agreed was Indian Railways, IRCTC. And it was a tough board meeting. It was because IRCTC is a PSU, so it was difficult, but somehow they liked the idea, and they gave me a grant to open 3 blood transfusion centers. So now we have them in Bangalore, Ranchi, and Baroda. These transfusion centers, as you can see, look slightly better, and each bed has its own entertainment system. You have Netflix, Amazon, whatever you want to watch. You are served meals as per your choice. Everything is free. You're not charged. And we have a helpline number, 8448. So and all this was while I was in college. So whenever I had meetings, I would bunk the college. But I had to find ways around it because I wanted to do what I love. And this thing is common for all of you as well, that you should do what you love and equally love what you do. So now this is something that I am now planning to open in 2020 with slightly more vibrant colors. Right now, we are trying to fundraise for 2 cities, which is Bombay and Surat. And this is how the new transfusion center would look like. More vibrant colors, a more happy space, more interactive space. And one more thing that also comes along with blood transfusion, running blood transfusion centers, is blood. There is a huge deficit in India for blood. And if you guys, how many guys are from Bombay? Okay, there's a lot of people. Okay. So I think 2 weeks back, if you would have read third page, Times of India, a child died. He needed B positive blood, but the entire city में B positive blood नहीं था. So you can imagine, this is page 3 news on Times of India. It was not a thalassemia child, it was a normal child. And in my office, I have a staff member who has B positive, but I was unaware about this. So I'm sure itne logon mein there'll be so many people who are actually B positive people, but the news never reached us. So now we have kept doing blood camps, and we keep doing that at corporates. We have one tomorrow with Axis Bank, and we keep doing blood donation drives with corporates, colleges. One more problem is iron chelation. Now, what happens is that when you keep taking blood, you keep taking a lot of iron. Blood and iron always come together. So, since I'm constantly taking blood, I'm constantly taking iron. Plus, I'm eating my routine food and also taking more iron. So, you need to remove all this excess iron, otherwise, your body will, your heart or your liver will fail. So this pump is 35,000 rupees and patients can't afford it. So we have started a pump library. So patients come and borrow this pump, and this pump helps them reduce their ferritin, which is the iron component, indicative of the iron component. And so we have started thalassemia wellness centers in different parts of the country, which has been funded by Inox. We have 2 so far. And so Inox has given us a grant to open these centers, and we have pumps in them. In fact, 10 of the pumps for Bombay have been contributed by Zydus. So we have a pump library in Bombay as well. It functions from our office only, so patients can come and borrow the pump. But thanks to Zydus in 2017, we got those 10 pumps. So it can be used on a rotational basis. So I can use it for a week, and the same pump can be used by another child on another week. The syringe can be replaced. So apart from that, these wellness centers act as spaces where children can come and have fun, do Zumba, and involve in something called as art-based therapy. This is because 3 out of 5 patients feel that they don't look as good as normal individuals. Including me, I used to feel that when I was 14, 15, that all patients have a suppressed nose. It's a genetic trait of thalassemia. So most patients feel that they don't look as good as normal individuals. So we kind of do activities for them to make them love themselves. And patients often feel socially anxious when talking to public, and which is also something that we kind of combat. And as you can see, the nose is suppressed in most children. So that's one of the reasons why they don't feel good. They feel that they don't look as good as normal individuals. So as you know after Sonakshi said it, awareness is the only solution to eradicate thalassemia. And that is how it exactly happens. And this is something that we plan to release next year. And these are small films that we have made. We plan to release them in May 2020, which is around World Thalassemia Day, on televisions and movie theaters. So this is it.
शादी कर रहे हो तो
थैलेसीमिया टेस्ट फिर रेस्ट
और बच्चे कर रहे हो तो
अबे तो थैलेसीमिया टेस्ट फिर रेस्ट
बेस्ट
So आधी वाली जिंदगी मिटाओ basically because patients do not live beyond 30. On average, most patients die before 26, especially to the ones that we cater to. And this is why we have come up with that. And this is a movement that we started, of which, as Harshal sir was saying, that Zydus was also a part of. If you all remember, how many of you guys remember Ice Bucket Challenge? You all used to pour a bucket of ice on you. So that's something that I got this idea from, that I'll ask celebrities to post half their face and challenge 3 more people to do it. As a reminder to get yourself tested for thalassemia. So I messaged Ritik Roshan, Anil Kapoor, Ayushmann Khurrana to start, and they tagged their friends. So by about half a day's time, the entire Bollywood participated. Uh, so that's briefly the stats that I just told you about. And closing in about the leadership aspect of running an organization, as I said, at 19 it was tough uh, speaking and convincing board members to fund me. It is still tough. Corporates look at it in a way of impact investing. They don't look at it as a donation. So you need to know what you're speaking. You need to show them the impact. You need to show them how you will be monitoring the project. How would you be evaluating the project? So whatever you're speaking needs to be very strategic, and I learned it over time. But it was all about being courageous and confident. This is my staff. We are about 18 full-time people. We have 2 offices. One is in Bombay, and we have zonal offices at about 5 cities in India. And we have nurses, doctors separately. But this is my core team, and of which 30% we have hired patients. So again, so that we can keep them employed. And coming back to my challenge, which was blood transfusion. So one of the most important thing is that I accepted thalassemia. If I wouldn't have ever accepted thalassemia, I would never be able to make it so far. So it's very important that whatever challenges you are going through, you must accept it, and you must look beyond them. So life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes, and understanding is the first step to acceptance. And only with acceptance can there be recovery. So that is something that all of you should always remember. It may imply to you in different parts of your life, in different aspects of your life, but you must accept whatever is coming your way. Moving on to the second challenge was when the Wishing Factory was established, about seeking funding and running such a massive initiative. It expanded way faster than I thought. So one of the things was that I had to adapt. So always adapt to whatever comes your way. Sometimes situations may not be just as how you had accepted or how you had expected it to come to you, but in all cases you must adapt to it, because only then you can actually remove obstacles. So remove obstacles to transformation success, especially during implementation. So if you don't remove those obstacles, you won't be able to implement your ideas. And as Stephen Hawking, the famous scientist, says, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. So we must adapt and grow in terms of our intelligence. Lastly, my hepatitis C episode taught me that it came back to me again in 2015. So throughout the journey, it taught me that you have to remain courageous, and which also was then, it was needed when I started the Wishing Factory, that you have to be gritty. These are projects that require a lot of money, a lot of capex, a lot of capital expenditure, a lot of operational expenditure, which is why you need to be courageous. You need to show individuals that these are not children who have a short lifespan. It can be prolonged. So there is cynicism, there is rejection, but you have to be courageous. This may come to you in different forms of your life, that someone may not like what you are doing, even though it is right. But you have to be courageous. You have to believe in yourself if you know it is right. So lastly, these 3 things, that is accept plus adapt with courage, can actually help you transform to perform. So thank you. And one of the things that I would actually like to say, since Zydus is one of those very few pharmaceutical companies who actually care about which by today I can feel that, you know, you actually care about a patient's perspective, which is why maybe you invited me here. So I'm glad you thought of me. And if there's anything that you'd like to ask, please let me know.
Thank you, Parth. Uh, with this, I would like to call upon our MD, Mr. Anil Matai, to come on the stage and present a token of appreciation to Pastor Parth Thakur. So anyone has questions, you can raise to Parth.
Hello, hello. Yeah, it can be pertaining to anything, like about patients in general, about management in terms of non-profits, or it can be anything that you can think of. Yeah, that's really nice. There are about 30 cases which have been actually, it's under trial in US. So that can be a good possibility, I feel. Even I'm looking forward to it. But the estimated cost is about 1.52 CR for one treatment, like for one child. So that I'm thoda sa scared, like if it comes to India, how will children be able to afford it? But in general, I really look forward to it. Okay. 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 Huh. Huh.
Tie a knot with Shadi.com and matrimonial sites so that readily anybody is going, they have access and a massive number of people can see this. It is just a suggestion.
Yeah, this is actually nice. And in fact, we have done it with something called as Tinder. So we had collaborated with them on World Thalassemia Day, but I think what you are looking is a more it's a more wider platform. So this is a good suggestion. I'll definitely try and get in touch with them, and we can actually put that into force. Anything else?
Thank you, Parth. Actually, that was excellent talk.
Thank you.
Basically, one of the thing which we consider as a therapy option is this blood transfusion. But
Yeah.
nowadays, bone marrow transplantation is one of the new avenue patients can get. In CMC Vellore itself, more than 8 to 10 patients get treatment of bone marrow transplantation. And apart from that, TMC, TMH, and all other institutions also have bone marrow transplantation set up. So have you planned anything on that platform also?
Yeah. So we are. That's a nice question, and that's a way wherein you can treat thalassemia. But the problem is that bone marrow transplant works only if the child is below 12. So in my case, it's not possible because post 12, your body has taken so many blood transfusions that it will reject anything that is foreign. So at this point, I can't afford a transplant. My body will simply outright reject it. So transplants work for only kids below 13. And at the moment, we are funding about 8 transplants a year. One transplant costs around 10 lakhs. So there are ways, there is something called as Prime Minister's Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Yojana, which gives you 5 lakhs for transplants. So there are ways of making it happen. But at this point, especially of children who are below, post 13, they can't undergo transplants. But yes, it's a good cure for those below 13. Anything else? Yeah. So it's a very nice question, and it's very different from cases to cases. So, for example, last year I was in a place called as Araria. Araria is in Bihar. Araria, and it's about 130 kilometers from. Huh, it's right near the border of Nepal, and I was there, and there are some patients there, and I was sitting with a family, and वो बच्चा आया, and I asked them कि कैसे हुआ थैलेसीमिया. तो हस्बैंड वाइफ को बोल रहा है आपकी जीन में था, मेरे को तो चाहिए ही नहीं था बच्चा, you know. So their understanding is कि it's because of the wife or it's because of one of the parents. The society looks at it in a very different form. They don't understand that it's a genetic trait which has come down from both the parents. The father is happily blaming the wife कि ये सब तो तेरे वजह से है, मैंने पहले ही बोला था बच्चा करना ही नहीं चाहिए था. You're getting it? So it is something that needs to grow over time, but the situation is bad. It's only in this semi-urban, urban population that we can look at it as a genetic disorder and not have any associated stigmas. But in the rural side, the situation is really bad. Anything else? ठीक है, thank you so much.